properly, but I mean, that was freaking quick. Hey guys, welcome back to the AutoAdvisorza channel. My name is Murali, and today I'm driving the 2023 M340i LCI. Now this is basically the G20 facelift, and the good news is that it's still powered by the beautiful B58 motor. It's 3-turbo 6-cylinder. It's mated to a 8-speed ZF automatic sports transmission, and newly introduced is this mild hybrid technology, which gives the vehicle a bit more responsiveness as well as makes it more fuel efficient. Now on the M340i, you get xDrive as standard, and overall this puts together a package of 285 kilowatts and 500 newton meters of torque. It will send this vehicle from 0 to 100 in just 4.2 seconds, and I have seen some other channels do this at under 4 seconds, which is tremendously impressive. This B58 is absolutely rock solid, and I think a really impressive motor. Very, very difficult to flaw it, and the BMW has done a phenomenal job on this engine. So on the exterior of the vehicle, on the front, you're immediately going to notice the new headlamps. These are LED headlamps. They've got these blue accents on the inside, which means they are adaptive. You also get your intakes here on the side of the bumper as well as on the front grille, and you also get intakes here behind your kidney grille. Now this is the new kidney grille as well. You've got this nice black finish, which is also new to the BMW 340i, and you also get your 50th anniversary badging, which I quite like. We've got 19-inch rims. They're wrapped in Pirelli tires. These are run flats, and I'm not really a fan of the run flats. I mean, if you do have a blowout, the run flats are not really going to help you. So I always encourage our listeners and viewers to purchase the spare wheel kit that BMW does have, especially if there's space for it in your boot. Now, you've got your 50th anniversary badging on this rim. These are 19-inch. These are two-tone, so they're black as well as the silver finish. You've got your blue M calipers, and you can upgrade to the M braking system, which would mean your calipers would now be in red. So it doesn't look like the M braking system is installed on this vehicle, but still, these are really impressive and very good stopping power. So on the side of the vehicle, you've got your M badging. You also get these new M mirrors with the gap on the side, which are OG mirrors. So on the rear, you've got your 340i badging. You've got these nice LED rear taillights. You've also got these rear diffuser, and you've got these new tail tips, which I think are about 100 millimeters. They look pretty cool, and they give the vehicle a far more aggressive look. Now what you'll notice is that there is no xDrive badging on this vehicle. Even though it is a xDrive, the xDrive badging has fallen off of these models. At the back, you also get your 50th anniversary badging. All right, so in the rear, plenty of space for me. I'm 1.8. There is enough headroom as well as legroom. The seat is set in my driving position. Now you've also got climate control in the rear, and you've got 2 Type-C ports. You've got 2 cup holders in your armrest, and you also got 2 cup holders on your side doors. In addition, you get ISOFIX for the kids. So in the boot, you've got plenty of space. It's 480 liters capacity. On the right, you've got your first aid kit, and on the left, you've got a little storage compartment with a net. Now, under the rear mat here, you've got your battery, so there isn't any space for a spare tire. So those run flats are going to have to do the job. The biggest updates on this LCI is this new curved infotainment and instrument cluster. You've got 15 inches here on your infotainment, and you've got 12.3 inches on your instrument cluster. So overall, just giving a far more immersive experience, and I think, you know, it's very, very responsive. You also have the ability to add these little widgets onto it. You get navigation, your weather. You can go into all of your vehicle settings from here, as well as all of your vehicle apps. You can also control this with the iDrive or connected drive, and this is the latest OS, so OS 8. This is one of the areas that BMW previously lacked or felt a bit dated in their models, and I'm glad to see that they've upped their game. Now, in addition to that, you've got your ambient lighting, which is also both controllable via the cluster here or touchscreen on the display. So I think that's something I quite like. It's very easy to navigate and very easy to use. Now you'll see that you've also got your 360 camera view. You can switch between angles of the camera to kind of focus on any area that you want. You've got your 3D view, and I think this is very useful when parking. You've also got your park assist and reversing assistant. Now, one of the other big updates is this climate menu within the touchscreen. You no longer can access your climate menu from the older models. You used to have it down here, so you can put your aircon onto max or your rear demister on. But if you want to control your aircon settings, you need to come in here. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it does take some getting used to. Also got one volume control button here. You've got all your normal buttons here, and I think this is basically just that connected drive, so you can access all of the features from here or alternatively using the touchscreen. And you've got this new gear lever, which is pretty minimalistic. It looks pretty cool. And then you've also got your Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro. You've got your parking handbrake and auto hill assist. And then you've got your traction control, auto start, as well as access into your camera settings. So all in all, a huge update here for BMW. And another thing that I got to mention is this Harman Kardon sound system. This thing is absolutely banging. It sounds crystal clear, good clarity, good noise that comes out of it, and I quite like that Harman Kardon system. So you've got this nice BMW M steering wheel. It is a bit on the chunky side, but I think overall it feels quite good in your hands. You've also got on the right hand side here, you've got the ability to control all of your instrument cluster as well as your heads-up display. So you can basically toggle between, use this to control your radio stations on your heads-up display, and then in addition to that, you can also change that to Apple CarPlay. Now you can also change your settings on your heads-up display. You've got 3 or 4 different views here. The heads-up display does take up quite a large area on your windscreen, which I thought was quite beneficial, and it's just got better visibility. In addition to that, you can also control the layout of your instrument cluster. So you can see here we're just swapping between the 3 different settings that are available. And lastly, you've got the ability to control the actual content that displays on your instrument cluster. So toggling between just your driver modes, well, not your driver modes, your assisted driving modes, your content, your speed, and you've also got your navigation, etc., as well as your radio stations. Now this is pretty useful, and I think this is far more customizable and far more useful than some of the outgoing features. On the left hand side, you've also got your cruise control settings. You've got your adaptive cruise control to keep distance between the car in front of you. You've got your assisted driving mode, which allows you to take your hands off the steering from time to time, maybe check on the kids in the back, and just allow the vehicle to take a bit more control of the driving situation. This is very useful. I have used this in the past, and I have used this on this vehicle, especially on the highway. I think this is a very valuable feature to have. You've also got your pedal shifters, your indicators, and then you've got your windscreen wipers. So I think the interior is very plush, it's very premium, and it's very well put together. But I think that's enough about the vehicle. Time to take it on the road and talk about what's it like to drive. It's hard not to like this M340i. Listen to it, it sounds absolutely insane. And this B58 motor is just literally, it's a dream to drive. So you do get 3 driver modes, which is Eco Pro, Comfort, and Sport. In Eco Pro, the vehicle is very tuned down, very hard to get the revs going, and just designed to be more fuel efficient. And I mean, you can feel it. The vehicle is a lot more relaxed and a lot more tuned down. Going into comfort mode, I mean, you do definitely feel some sort of change in the vehicle dynamics. The vehicle also starts to come alive to some extent. And I think, you know, even in comfort mode, it's more than sufficient to be driving around. It handles really well switching between your current driving style. But one of the things that I did notice is that, you know, with the automatic transmission, is that you want to have it in sport mode, right? In comfort mode or normal drive mode, and having the vehicle set in comfort setting, I felt that sometimes when I was trying to do something, it just took a little bit more effort and the vehicle felt a little bit lazy. But I mean, that switching the gearbox into the sports transmission really fixes that problem. So it's generally just takes a little bit long if you're driving in the normal drive setting to kind of get the vehicle going. And that sports, setting the transmission specifically into sports setting, allows it to be a lot more responsive and get you going a lot quicker. And then lastly, there's obviously your sport mode. You've got sport, sport plus, and sport individual. Now you can configure your sport individual to all the different settings that you would like. And I mean, this ranges from your suspension to your steering to your drivetrain to the transmission. And I think this really allows you that customization to set the vehicle for something that, you know, based on your driving style and based on what you're looking for. And I think that was really something that I enjoyed. One of the things I really like about the 340i is that even with that M suspension, the vehicle is very comfortable to drive on the highway. I mean, it is firm, but it's not M3 firm, right? And I think that's the key differentiator here. I can easily see myself driving this here on a daily basis, you know, offering that practicality that you look for that sometimes the M3 just doesn't offer. And I think for what that car is built for, that M3 that is, it's two very different vehicles. And I think the M3 is a lot more fine-tuned and honed in for a very specific function, which is all performance. But I think the M340i manages and balances the two very finely and very well, where you have the performance available, but you also have the practicality, the comfort, a bit understated. It's not as commanding as the M3 or the M4, you know, those front grills. All of those things draw a level of attention you might not necessarily want. You're cruising, doing like 8.8 liters per 100 Ks, and it's very practical. It can be very efficient depending on your driving style. And I guess that's also partly due to that hybrid technology that BMW has been talking about, improving fuel efficiency. It did take a bit of time to come down to under 9 liters, but it's not too far off from the 8 liters that are claimed from BMW. So I think it would be possible to bring it down to 8 or close to it. But I mean, you're going to be putting in a lot of effort into your driving style. And I mean, you're in a 340i, so nobody really wants to be driving slow. The M Sport seats, they are very comfortable, very firm, very, very good support around the lower part of your back. I mean, it is completely electric controlled. You also get lumbar support, and you also have this additional settings support around your lower back here. So I thought that was pretty cool, because a lot of the time you just get lumbar support and you don't really have this setting. But I think this is quite beneficial as well. You know, it just kind of puts you into position. Now the 340i just gives you a lot of confidence on the road. This X-Drive system is just absolutely phenomenal. It is rear wheel biased, but I mean, it just gets back on track, and you can feel very confident putting this car down. Driven around the corners, the responsiveness and the handling is absolutely phenomenal, and still very engaging to drive even with an all-wheel drive system. Launch control on the M340i. Let's go. I mean, not as fast as I thought it was going to be, but I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. 4.2 seconds, 0 to 100. I think I'm gonna get a draggy so we can start validating some of these numbers. This M340i is quick, it's agile, it is nimble, and it just goes like goddamn stick. So there are 5 derivatives in the range, which is the 318i, the 320i, the 320d, the 330i, and then this M340i. So you can get into the range with the 318i for about 820,000 Rand. But if you want this range topping model, it's going to set you back 1,363,000 Rand. All models do come standard with a 2-year unlimited kilometer warranty, as well as a 5-year 100,000 kilometer full maintenance plan. Now, this M340i competes with the likes of the Audi S4 as well as Mercedes C43 AMG. And we're going to be getting that on test sometime next month. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to watch that review.